Hello everyone, welcome to another Android beginner tutorial. In this tutorial, we will see the Android project structure. So when you open Android Studio, the first thing that you would notice is the project structure on the left side. We can toggle this by pressing the one project that's on the top left. And even at the top, you could see different options mentioned here. And when you press project, you could see the entire project directory. And when you click Android, you can see all the Android related files, and these are the two options that we'll be using a lot. When you click to open the app, you could see three folders: the manifests, Java, and res, which stands for resources. When you click manifests, you can see the Android manifest file. The Android manifest file has all the basic items such as the Android icon, label, round icon, theme, and the main activity which opens when the Android app is started. This also lists the permissions and other similar items. We will take a look at Android manifest in detail in a later tutorial. So when you open the res folder or the resources folder, you can see all the resources mentioned here. The drawables include all the image assets that you use. For example, if you use some kind of image or icons in your app, that will be listed in the drawable folder. And the MIP map indicates the app icon, and the values store the colors, strings, or the styles that are used in the app. And we will talk about the layout folder in a bit. But when we open Java, we're going to ignore the test folders and go into the folder that says com.alexvijayaraj.myapplication, which means the package that we use. And inside the package, you could see a class, and that class is the main activity class that is listed here. So this main activity is also very simple. You could see the package name at the top, and then there's two other classes that are imported: the app compact activity, which means that main activity extends the app compact activity, and the onCreate method is overridden from that activity. And then there's the bundle from the Android OS that's been imported. We will see those things later. And to explain about activity, we need to know what the life cycle of an activity means. As I said before, activity are essentially screens that appear in Android, and whenever an activity begins, the onCreate method is called, or the onCreate state is called, which means that the activity was created. And there are other methods like onDestroy, onPause, onResume, which are similar to the states of that particular screen or that particular activity. So when the activity closes, the onDestroy method gets called, and when the activity goes into background state, the onPause method gets called, and when it comes from a background state, the onResume method is called. So we're going to talk about the onCreate method. And inside the onCreate method, notice that there is something called a setContentView, and inside that there is something called as the r.layout.activityMain. So this is the UI that the screen shows, or the main activity shows, when it is created. So let's take a look at what this UI here is. So remember when I said when we take a look at layout a little bit later, inside the layout is the activity main, or the UI of the main activity app. So when we open this, this is the activity main that is listed here, and as you could see, the hello world that we saw in an earlier tutorial appears. So here the component tree is shown, and here you could see that there's a layout and a text view called hello world is inside that constraint layout. There are different types of components that we could use, or UI elements that we could use in Android, like button, toggle button, checkbox, and there's so many UI components that you could use here, and the list goes on and on. We will see most of these essential UI components in our forthcoming tutorials. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is the top part that we could see here. And here you could see a hammer icon, which means build. So if we want to build the app after making some kind of change, we can do that by pressing this, and we can click to select the app configurations. but for the most part we're going to have a single configuration, so we won't be using this a lot. And then when we want to run this on our emulator, we will do that, and this is for debugging. And if we want to open the Android virtual device, which we can do that by clicking this button here. And now let's talk a little bit about Gradle. So Gradle is something that Android Studio uses to build the project. So as I said before, we can change the SDK version, the minimum SDK version, and the package name, and this is how we do it. We can just replace this here and it will get replaced in all parts of the Android Studio project. And we will have all the dependencies listed here. So for example, if we want to use a third-party library or something similar, we will add this here, and then that would be installed in the project structure, and we can call the similar classes for those third-party libraries. We will look at how to add third-party libraries one by one in later tutorials. So that's all we wanted to learn about the Android project structure. I will see you in another tutorial. This is Alex Vijayaraj. Have a good one.